Make sure nothing else gonna make no noise.
All right, fam, it's your brother Asad, and we are back again with another quick video. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so that you'll be notified when we drop material on this channel. Secondly, in terms of housekeeping, we got to give a special and a significant and a particular and a peculiar type of love to our South African family for all the love you guys have shown this channel. Myself, my wife, my children, we greatly appreciate it. Any other housekeeping that we need to do? KZ didn't stand up. I said I keep doing that till y'all done stood up.
I think they up.
They up?
I think they're
All right. Okay, well, I ain't gonna do it no more then. I think they done bounce back, they on their feet. So today we have a guest.
Yeah.
I don't think we had a guest. Well, no, we had a guest maybe 2-3 videos ago. But this brother, and I will allow him to introduce himself, but this brother reached out through YouTube or because of the YouTube channel and says that, man, he said that he is in love with South Africa and he and his wife are looking to relocate. So and he was there in January.
It was in February.
February
13th. Yeah.
He was there in February. So I'll let him introduce himself and then we'll get into this discussion about SA and all that good stuff. Go ahead, Brother Thomas.
All right. Well, my name is Thomas Shaw. I'm in Houston, Texas.
H-Town.
H-Town, yes. Burning up out here right now.
Must be hell.
Oh, man. And it's sadly not even the hottest month of the year. August is.
Ooh.
It gets worse. But so my name is Thomas Shaw, and yes, I followed Brother Asad a few months ago, actually before I went to Cape Town, and it just got me really pumped up about it, and I saw he was in Houston, so I reached out to him, and I was like, man, I finally called him while he was in town. I always see the videos after he left, but I called him in time. I'm actually starting a YouTube channel myself.
Give me a YouTube channel. Give me a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. It's Chilling with the Charles. So CHILLIN with the Charles on YouTube. And you can also follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Adrian, I'm sorry. They really inspired me to start a channel. I overcomplicate things. They have a very impactful page and they keep it simple and interesting and educational. So y'all, thank you very much, along with other Africa travelers. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
Bam, 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 just like that. Bam, 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 just like that. So, man, what got you interested? You and your wife were there in February. Now, a lot of African Americans, when they decide they want to move around the globe and want to travel, they say they're going to go to Paris. They say they're going to go to
Switzerland.
What's the hot spot? Dominican Republic.
Oh,
Black people
Italy.
Yeah.
Oh, they go. We go to Mexico. They run to Mexico. To the cartels out there, they're gonna learn.
So what made y'all say, man, let's go to South Africa?
Okay, so I'll be honest with you. Africa has always been number one on my bucket list my whole life, but I never knew why. And that's the strangest thing. I just always wanted to go. I don't care what the TV ever showed me. Something was always pulling on me to go there. And I was actually on Instagram, and a person that I can call my friend now, I didn't know him at that point, had posted a video, and I saw these mountains and this ocean and the city, and I'm like, where is that? Where is he? And I messaged him, kind of like I did y'all, and he was like, oh, I'm in Cape Town, South Africa. And I was like, what? I was like, I'm coming, right? I'm gonna come out there and see you, because he was actually in the process of moving. And when I tell you, like about a year or so later, I was like, I sent him the ticket and I was like, we on the way, we coming for 2 weeks.
Bam.
Just like that. And when I tell you, oh man, he was shocked though, because obviously he didn't even know me, but
yeah.
And people typically just don't follow through. They just talk, right? And I was single when I found him. I got my wife on board, right? So we got out there, and when I tell you, he has fully indulged in the culture of South Africans. Him and his girlfriend, were very welcoming. They were so like accommodating to us, and we thought we had everything all figured out. Like, okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna rent a car this way. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And they were like, no, you're not renting a car. We'll rent a car, and we're gonna drive you to. We're gonna drive you down to see the penguins. We're gonna drive you down to the tip of Africa because we want you to see the view on the way there. It's wrong for you to drive there and miss out on these type of things.
Wow.
They cooked us dinner. They took us out. I can't even explain it to you.
So he's an African-American brother in South Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
George Floyd was his last straw. He called America the ghetto now.
Well,
it's like the whole country. I was like, dang, man. That's how he feels. Like, hey, I get it now.
Hey, but that's very interesting because well, people in the South, Black people in the South do have that very, I don't know where he's from, but that very welcoming type of thing, especially when you come to visit this city for the first time. But I've also noticed a very similar trait to South Africans or in South Africans. They are very, very welcoming and Ubuntu, I believe is how you pronounce it. Want to really show off their country. So it seems like he has picked up on that spirit, or he has that Southern Black folk spirit just in him, and showing you guys, to show you guys around. So
yeah, so a couple of things. Really cool that you guys were just planning on renting a car and like driving yourself around, right? Which means y'all are like a particular type of traveler. I think that's cool. But two, being in Cape Town, what do you think that the U.S. is together?
Facts, but
when I was like, oh,
Cape Town. Let me say this: Cape Town is just absolutely gorgeous. We were on top of Table Mountain, and I made a post when we've taken pictures or whatever. I took some video, and whether people are believers or not, I said that if you are a believer, this will absolutely let you know that the Most High, Allah, God, whatever name you want to call it, absolutely showing off. When he made when he made this part of the world, he was like, let me show you what I could do. Right. But this is what I want to say. Adrian mentioned you driving around. So he is a particular type of traveler. I think young. How old are you, brother?
I'm 31.
31? Okay, cool.
Young, young.
Yeah, you're young, bro.
Young whippersnapper.
But they the ones who are not afraid.
Yeah.
You see, all like the older generation, those who are like 40, well, I'm 43, but those who our age and older, most people will be like, I'm not going to get in a car and drive in another country or drive on the other side of the road. And we're like, man, we're going to rent us a car. We're going to Enterprise, rent us a car. So that's a different type.
Remind me of us.
Yeah, remind me of us.
We didn't end up renting a car at all, though.
Okay.
So no, we didn't. We planned on it because we wanted to go see the penguins, go to Boulders Beach and things like that. But they paid for it. They rented a car for us.
Wow.
But the thing was, that's the only reason we were ever going to rent one was for that day specifically.
Yeah.
When we were going to Hout Bay. That's what it was. Hout Bay. We were going to go there and go to Boulders Beach. But there was no need to rent a car. The Ubers are so cheap compared to. I mean, if I do a 15-minute drive in Houston, I'm going to pay $25.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay $25. But there, it's $2, $3.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's unreal. So there was no need. It honestly would have been doing ourselves a disservice to rent a car.
Yeah. So I remember when we were there, we met Marashi. Marashi was our first Uber driver when we went somewhere. And he was supposed to, he took us to the Cape of Good Hope. We were supposed to just like wherever he was supposed to take us, but in the process, I'm sitting in the front seat with him because it's my wife and the two kids in the back. And he looks at me, he says, "You look like you're Rwanda," because he was from Rwanda. And we got to talking and chopping it up. And after that, we just made a little deal with him. It was like, hey, we want to go see this, and this. Will you take us instead of dropping us off and getting different Ubers? So we paid him a little extra, whatever have you. and he took us to see we were going to go see the penguins, but he took us to the Cape of Good Hope and some other place. Yeah, a few other places. It was raining,
so we didn't end up.
Yeah. And
okay, we actually did the same thing with one of our Uber drivers. He was taking us to, where were we going? I think we were just going to the store, probably Pick and Pay or V&A Waterfront, something like that. And we were like, you know what, this is the biggest vehicle we've seen since we've been here. Do you mind taking us to Hout Bay tomorrow? We could just directly contact you to take us.
Yeah.
He said, of course. Showed up the next day on time. Got us there, helped us with everything, and then came back and got us again.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Reliable and accommodating. It's crazy.
So what I think that type of non-structured traveling is something that we see again in the younger generation or whatever have you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, because some people want an itinerary, bam, 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 just like that. I think younger people, the millennials, they're like, I'm gonna get there, I'll figure out most of what I need to figure out. And you know what they do? They jump online and they say, okay, what things to do in Cape Town, South Africa, and there's like 500 websites that come up and videos and all the stuff you need to figure out what you're going to do when you get there.
And it's always the inflated touristy things is what comes up.
Yeah,
they're inflated price wise, and that's just traveling anywhere though, right? So in this type of, and the way I describe it to people, this type of trip wasn't that you know how people go to Mexico or go somewhere and it's like, I'm gonna go to the resort. And then everything you do is based on whatever they feed you at the resort, right? Go to this attraction, go to this endeavor, you know, things like that. But we were indulging in the culture as if we lived there. And it's a completely different type of trip. And way better. I never want to travel any other way again, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it was wild.
So what are some things that you experienced in Cape Town that were unexpected to you, that you didn't think that South Africa or Cape Town or Africa in general would present to you?
Well, I didn't expect it to be that affordable for what you get. Well, you know what? I knew it was going to be somewhat affordable, but the quality that you get surpassed my understanding or expectations tenfold.
Right.
The quality of what they have for the price, it puts us to shame, honestly. We should be ashamed of ourselves. You know, we milk things to where you pretty much get nothing, or we water things down so much here. You know, building houses out of concrete and bricks, and we over here using sticks and water. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it is. Like
we out here primitive building.
Seriously. Seriously. You can hear your neighbors next door. They can't even hear their neighbors. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on, we gotta do better out here. But yes, the quality, the luxury that's just it's just implied, like something as simple as them having towel warmers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was when I looked at it. I said, oh, that's a nice towel rack.
Yeah.
And I touched it and I was like, whoa, I said, whoa, that's hot. I was like, what is this? They're like, that's a towel warmer.
The same thing happened.
Oh man. And then I realized how wasteful we were. Even something as simple as having 2 buttons on the toilet so you don't waste water.
Yeah.
You know, oh my gosh. Gaining family out there.
Yeah.
People that I talk to almost every day. And I'm obsessed with South African people at this point because that's all I watch. I don't watch TV much at all. I'm on YouTube trying to see what South Africans are doing. I created a YouTube so I can network with them. I follow South Africans on social media because I want to talk to them. I've been messaging Julie and Albino all day today.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I finally got a response from them.
Right. Right. Well, you know that's a star right there.
Yeah, I know.
Superstar right there.
Superstar,
yeah.
Right.
Well, I did the exact same thing, man. I stopped watching like I'll go to Netflix and I kind of stopped watching like American made movies. All I would watch is as soon as a new South, Blood and Water.
I watched that about 4 times. I ain't gonna lie. I watched that about 4 times.
Yeah. And it was another one. Shadow was on there. Queen Sono, and then there was there's a couple. There was two new ones that just came out. Several Town Surge, I believe, and then Savage Beauty, and
that's the one.
Savage Beauty. Then there was another one with the girl, the actress from Blood and Water. She played like I forget the name of it. She played like a college student, and she was messing with different men and whatever have you. But and then if I can't find any new South African content on Netflix, I may default to watch some Nollywood stuff. Nollywood stuff just stepped up. Yeah, Nollywood stuff just stepped up. Yeah, they got some good ones. But started consuming that South African. I'm gonna tell you, I said this earlier on the live, brother. So I mentioned Nigeria and South Africa right now. When I first went to the continent, all of them just sounded like British people to me. Just they had that accent. That's what I said. It wasn't an American accent. One brother told me, he said, we can't tell the difference. South Africa, he said, we can't tell the difference between New York and the South. You guys just have an American accent. So they couldn't tell the difference between the regional accents, right? And so I guess it's kind of same for us. When I would go, I would just hear they sound like they British, right? Mm-hmm. But recently here in the hotel, a brother was, I guess it's from watching these Nigerian movies and these South African movies. A brother was in the elevator with me, and he was talking on the phone. And later on that day, I saw him, and I said, "Man, where you from?" He said, "Nigeria." I said, "I knew it. I heard his accent, heard the way he talked." So then on a TikTok, they had some ladies talking about some stuff, and one lady started talking. I said, "She's from South Africa," and then I actually looked her up, and she had the South African flag on her IG page. So I was like, okay, I'm learning that these different accents, everybody's not British,
Nope. And I got corrected while I was there by my friend. Her name is Farika. And she corrected me. I was like, y'all sound like European almost. And they were like, no, we don't. And they were like, let me put it like this. She was like, this is how you can determine between American accent, Europeans or British, and South African. She said, we say water.
Yeah.
British say water. And the Americans say water. I was like, I stopped and I was like, dang, you're right.
Water. Yeah.
Water. Yeah. We need some water.
Yeah, that's true. Man, that's very true.
Set me straight.
Water. The water. Yeah, that's that real British. Like, what's that TV show? Which one? Man, about the drug dealing, man. Top Dog. You know what I'm saying? Top Boy. Yeah, Top Boy. What's it? In it. I was like, man, what is in it? I'm not. All right. So you, how long were you guys in that thing?
Oh, we were there for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And so this is what I really wanted to ask you about. Now, a lot of people say, man, I can't afford to go to South Africa. That plane ticket gonna be off the chain. You already said that it was affordable once you got there. So weeks, how much did you spend total? And then tell us, because the numbers really don't mean anything if we don't know what you got for it. So what did you get for that for that total in those 2 weeks?
Okay. So I can start with the flight. It's my wife and myself. So for both tickets, it was about I say $1,800 to $1,900.
Okay.
Which is, that can be pricey. It can be pricey, but I've seen y'all lose all that in Vegas before. We ain't gonna get on that. But and honestly, depending on where you are in the United States, because if you're leaving from Atlanta, it's probably gonna be 700, 800. Versus me in Houston, it's 800 or 900, and it just varies. Obviously, people in Washington or California may have to pay a little bit more. It all depends. So I don't use my number as what the overall cost for you, right? You just do your research. So 2 flights there for me and my wife round trip. And we stayed in 4 different Airbnbs while we were there. Okay. And we did that so we can experience different parts of Cape Town. We stayed in Hout Bay for 2 days. We stayed in the City Bowl, in different areas of the City Bowl, you know, close to the V&A waterfront. And then one time in the CBD. And yeah, so we stayed in 4 different Airbnbs, and that cost us, I think, $1,100 or $1,200 for 2 weeks. And when I tell you, and you'll see on our YouTube video I have about to premiere probably either tonight or tomorrow, the Airbnb that we had was in something we would consider a high rise here. Yeah. Something very luxurious, and we paid $60 to $80 a night. We had floor to ceiling windows on both levels. So it was 2 levels. One level was a loft area where our bedroom and restroom was, and it was $60 to $80 a night. Pick and Pay was on the first floor with a coffee shop. There's the gym, Planet Fitness was in the apartment property, right? And I was just like, this is living here, right? This is crazy. We don't have this here. It's not common. It's not common. We just now starting to put grocery stores below buildings.
Right.
But they got a grocery store, appliance store, all type of stuff on their first floor, right? So the other views of Table Mountain. So, you know, typically we pay 3 times the price of anywhere else if we got a view of anything here in this country. They don't capitalize on that, right? So, yeah, different place of the city. And when I say overall, we spent $5,000 on everything. We had $2,000 worth of play money for souvenirs, eating every day. We took over 50 Uber, probably at least 30 to 50 Uber rides. And that ended up costing us maybe $100, $120 for 2 weeks of taking Uber rides. And that's crazy. I would have did that just trying to get to the airport and back in Houston.
Right.
So seriously. And we did take out a few times, or takeaway as they call it. We also went to nice restaurants, fine dining restaurants. We ate at the Sky Hotel. Like I said, we went to Cape of Good Hope. We went to Boulder Beach. We ate seafood, had seafood platters that cost $80, but that would cost $300 here, with a bottle of champagne. You know what I mean? went to get some drinks, obviously visit some bars. And I'm telling you, like, we had the time of our lives, y'all. Like, wow. I cannot explain it enough. The experience, the money was just like, that's not even a question. Like, that was worth it. It was very much so worth it. But as far, I'm talking about as a traveler, it was that much. But if you think about it, if you're living there, you're not paying for a plane ticket. What you spent on the Airbnb in 2 weeks is probably your rent for the month, including furniture. You know what I mean? And your grocery shopping is crazy, man. I like lamb. I like lamb ribs,
Facts.
Right? I like lamb ribs, but you know, we can't afford lamb ribs out here. Like, it's a delicacy here, right? If you get 4 lamb ribs or 4 lamb chops, whatever you want to call it, it's $40 before you cook it. It's gonna cost you $40 just picking up the meat here. Y'all have it for $4 in the grocery store.
Yeah,
$4 to $5, and I looked and I was like, that ain't right. I said, this must be spoiled. This must be spoiled or something. This the manager special.
That Beyond Meat. This ain't no real.
This the manager special. We get it Piggly Wiggly or something. But no, it honestly was just reasonable. The chicken, the meat, everything just tastes better. And I felt good after eating. I didn't feel like I had to go to sleep every time I ate. You know, I felt like, all right, what we doing next? I went to Truth Coffee, and oh my goodness, man, it was just, I had about 63 different, and I'm giving you the exact number, about 63 different activities or places we wanted to visit, but we just kept running into things that we just saw and was like, all right, we got to stop here. We here now. We got to stop. And also the things that are just priceless, that are free, you know, hiking Lion's Head. You know, we can't go to the parks here like that without having to pay sometimes, right? You just go hiking in the morning, every morning, right? Or going to watch the sunset in Camps Bay is just unreal. Unreal. We did it once, we had to do it 3 or 4 more times. Like, it became almost a daily thing. We found time to do it almost every day. And it just, how close me and my wife were while we were there, experiencing those things and the emotions of being there, and I felt connected to the continent. To be honest, it's something I couldn't explain. I don't think I've ever been on a trip where I was actually like sad leaving after, and I've never been anywhere for 2 weeks ever in my life, but it was nowhere near enough, and it's the first place I've ever been where I was like, I want to move here. I don't want to leave.
Man, you touched on something about the intimacy between your wife, and not, when we say intimacy, we're talking about emotional intimacy and psychological intimacy. And I think that's also something that Adrian and I experienced over there. In fact, she even told me one time, like, she's like, you are nicer in South Africa.
I remember the video you talked about that.
Yeah. And I'm telling her, it's like, when I'm in South Africa, oh Lord, people are calling me. I'm sorry.
We both malfunctioning. My light done fell over.
A quick call.
Oh man.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me get to here. I'm gonna pause here. Bam.
Yeah, I'm good.
Boom. I was little commercial break. I don't know how, but the thing about it, it'll show up on the actual video. It's just like 1 second, it'll go right over. But I was saying that when I'm there is a level of pressure and stress that is removed from me, right?
For sure.
In America, when you're in the US, whether you're in New Orleans or Houston, I think even more so in New Orleans, because that's the town where I operate. It's all this, I gotta be on guard, I gotta pay attention, I gotta understand what's going on. I'm a protector. They're the P's of a marriage. There's the partner, there's the protector, there's the parent, there's the provider, right?
Yes.
In New Orleans, I'm in protect mode. You know what I'm saying? Moving my family like the military. We're about to pull up to the house. When you get out, let's move fast now, because I got my gun over here.
Checking your rear view.
Right. But there, I'm not in protective mode. I'm in the partner mode. You see what I'm saying? So I think that helps develop that intimacy, that friendship. Or let me not say develop it. It spotlights that, as opposed to other aspects of the roles that we have to play in these relationships, man.
That's it. Absolutely.
That was fire, huh? The way I put that together.
Yes, that's very true, because when we hear, we're so distracted by so many different things to where we can't have that intimacy, because we're distracted by things that honestly make us uncomfortable or shouldn't be there in the first place. Yeah. And I think that it causes distance. We don't realize it, because it's the nature of this living in this country. It's being on guard, being in protective mode, being distracted by what other people got going on, because it's so competitive here to where it's uncomfortable.
Right.
You have to compete. Because if you're not worried about what somebody else doing, because you're trying to stay focused on yourself, somebody else gonna bring it to you. Right. You don't have to look for it. Somebody gonna bring it to you. Right. Oh, that's all you doing? Right. Like y'all moving to Africa. Why are you in my business? You not going? Like, y'all going there? It's just, why ain't you doing something like going to Europe or going here? It's just, it's just not a good energy to feel, and it could be that we just not used to being in South Africa every day, or born and raised there. So we may have different experiences. That's very true. But for us, or me, I choose that. Right. I choose that. In the end of the day, I'm going to choose those issues versus these. Right. Because at the end of the day, all the unnecessary luxuries, all the unnecessary things that we have to compete with here that don't actually add value to our spirits and our souls. Right. But it does drain it. It absolutely does drain it. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So I choose that any day. People ask, why when they ask us sometimes, I'm like, have you read the comments on my YouTube page? Oh my God. The amount of love that the South African people have shown us, why would I not want to go where people are embracing, right? And I'm sure once we get there day to day, that wanes off, right? I understand I'm not retarded, but
I know that I've lived in one city 43 years and never received that amount of love. Ain't nobody happy. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. If we did a YouTube channel about moving to Houston, you think Houston to be on there talking about, man, please welcome to my city.
No, they would be like, not another one. We full, y'all. We don't need. We full. You can look it up right now. There's so many people out here like, all right, this is the best part of Houston. They send you to the ghetto. They like, don't come over here.
Right. Yeah, so man.
Yeah, they wouldn't be like, oh, call me when you're here.
No.
Invite you to our home for a meal.
Strangers in South Africa treat you better than your mama, I swear.
Well, yeah. Mama be calling mama talking, and your mom be like, wait, hold on. When you coming? No, I come another time.
I had these kids over here all day. I ain't got time for this. Oh man, that's funny.
So that's what I'm saying. Why not go? You know, the biblically speaking, it says a good man is never honored in his own land, which is important because it's not that he won't ever be honored. I saw your wife. But it's not that he won't be honored, it's that the people that are familiar with you, they remember you when you were trying to become you. They remember the mistake that you made when you were 18. They remember when you was the nerd in school and now you're the successful person. And they don't want you to forget that because in their lives they have not moved past certain stages. So they want to remind you every time they see you're supposed to be your partner. Man, you remember when that girl dumped you? Bro, why you bringing it up? That was 20 years ago. Why are you bringing it up?
For what?
You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember her name, you know? Man, you remember when you got in that fight and got beat up? Man, you talking about when I was 12? Man, why would I care?
You have terrible friends.
For what reason? I don't understand.
That's the type of stuff that they do. But when you go somewhere else, they see you for who you are right now, today in 2022, right? Absolutely. And they are willing to accept you more. So I think that's what that verse, that scripture means. A good man is never honored in his own land. You have to go somewhere else where people are they can only see you for who you are right now. Right? No matter what you were in the past or whatever have you. And the ups and the pitfalls you may have had in the past in your in city or your town or your own country that people don't want to allow you to forget, right? It's their way of pulling you back. And the more you rise, their way of, it's like a balloon. The more you rise, it holds you on that string and try to pull you back down with all of this stuff. And so that's why I think it's important when we embrace like SA. Like, why would I want to leave? Because I'm being embraced over here. On top of all the other reasons that we like SA, I always say South Africa's number one resource is not gold, it's not diamonds, it's not any of that, not any of the macadamia. Don't they do macadamia? Yeah, not macadamia. It is the people.
The people.
People are the number one resource. The people are what's attracting African Americans and other people to South Africa because the people are genuine, you know. And I know they got their gangsters. I ain't tripping. I watched them.
Oh, we know.
I don't watch a few movies. I know they got their gangsters and they got whatever, but that is not the dominant trait of the people. Right. The people are good people. They're welcoming people. They're warm people, and they're sincere people. And here's what I mean: when they first started, Dr. Assad, I want to hook up with you when you come. Dr. Assad, I would love to take you here. I was like, man, these Negroes lying. And I ain't say Negroes.
Right?
Yeah, I was like, they ain't lying. And
they ain't gonna show up.
When I got there, that's exactly what they did. It was people that I had to apologize to. Like, I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it because it was so many people, filling up my schedule. Like, come do this with me. I want you to do this. Take you here. I want to do this with you or whatever have you. And so they were sincere with those invites, right? So I definitely appreciate the South African people, man. So
same.
I don't want to hold this too long, brother. Anything else you would like to say, to mention about SA? And also, as we wrap up, make sure you give them your new YouTube page, man. Y'all go follow this brother. I've seen some of the footage, and the footage is amazing. It is amazing. Like, if
no grainy cameras over there.
Yeah, y'all already know how we get down with the little laptop. I ain't tripping. Big old fat.
I'm sorry, but well, I guess y'all can meet my wife.
Tell her I'll say that.
She trying to bring dinner up here. Come here, you just come speak real quick. So, but yeah, she can come over.
Hey, how are you? Yeah, that's no problem. What's your name?
They say it's no problem.
It's nice to meet you guys, though. Oh, my name. I'm
sorry, I couldn't hear it. It broke up.
Oh, let me see. All right, there you go.
She said, I'm sorry, your name again? I apologize, I couldn't hear it.
Oh, it's Mariah.
Hey, Mariah, pleased to meet you, Mariah.
Nice to meet you.
Well, that's right. Make sure that man is fed. When are you cooking dinner?
Wow. Well, man,
so, brother, shout out to YouTube page again.
Wait, he didn't get a chance to get that one more thing.
That's what I'm about to get to. Okay. I didn't get. Dang.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were about to. I was like, no, wait.
A good man is never honored in his own.
You're gonna see in the video.
All right, so tell us that. What was the question? I forgot.
You would like to add on Africa and plug the YouTube.
Yeah. Anything else you would like to say about South Africa? Plug the YouTube channel.
Well, for one, I know a lot of our people are afraid of flying within the United States. So that flight going there sounds very intimidating to them, right? But I'll be honest with you, that was probably one of the smoothest flights I've ever had, most comfortable for me. Now, and the reason I say that is because I can get up and I can walk. And a lot of people are afraid to be over the ocean that long, but honestly, it seemed like, and I've read that those flights are actually smoother because there's less turbulence over the ocean, is what I've read. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've read, right? And we didn't have any turbulence over 19 hours, and you get to sleep, you get to, adjust, watch some videos, prepare yourself for the trip, and, just, you can work on your itinerary. There's so many things you can do on that flight. And you won't think about it. After about 3 hours, it's nothing anymore. You won't even think, you would forget you're on an airplane after a while. I was
gonna say the one of the ways that we get up, or me, because I'm not necessarily a big old fan of flying, even though I'll do it. I get me an exit row seat where I can put my legs out, and I may take a little NyQuil or something. Not really NyQuil because it has alcohol in it, but like, a PM or something, like an Advil, right. Somewhere like 4 or 5 hours into the flight, and just go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And after a couple of movies, a couple of naps, you there.
You there. Especially if you get a flight overnight or something.
Yeah.
It's like you only remember about 3 or 4 hours of the flight at that point.
Right.
So it was an amazing ride. So don't be afraid of that. That's what I would encourage our people. If you want to go visit the continent, don't be afraid of the flight. Like that's gonna be the least of your worries, and you're gonna realize. And honestly, sometimes this is what I always tell people anyway. Sometimes the greatest things in life are on the other side of fear. And what you're gonna find on the other side of that flight gonna change your life. So that's just how I feel about it. Other than that, just do your research, get online. There's so much on Africa at this point, because Africa is the future, whether y'all want to accept it or not.
Facts.
You can get on it now, or you can be exactly where we are here later on there when everybody trying to get their passport and visas to move to Africa one day. All the resources for the world are there. So obviously it's inevitable that Africa is going to be on top, straight up. It's the future. It's honestly, it's the only thing holding the world together in the first place. To be honest, It's the only thing that's pushing us forward. Without them, we have nothing, to be honest. So why not go where the resources are? That's where we were in the first place. That's where we belong. And that's how I feel. But yeah, our YouTube channel, we are going to have more like interpersonal videos. We're going to tell you about ourselves. We're trying to start our TikTok and Instagram and things like that, because we do want to make this a residual income for us, because when we make that move, or if we make that move, that's not something we have to be concerned about. We have something that's mobile, that's remote, that's consistent. We can do this anywhere. And it's honestly also shedding light and benefiting Africa. I plan on doing different types of like funding, maybe like create some merchandise that says like Travel Africa, and then I'll find a way to like help donate some of that money towards, you know, some cause on the continent. And you know, like there's so many things that we can do to make this work for us and for them. And you know, we shouldn't go there with a mind of being greedy, like, oh, I'm about to go to Africa and try to get what they got, because what makes us any different from a colonizer at that point, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So let's make sure, if you are going there with the intention to move or learn if you would like to move there, just make sure you are giving to the people there too. Obviously, you have to take care of yourself, but make sure this is something that we are building up together. Not you're going and taking advantage of your dollar and taking away from them, because then we're no different at that point.
Mutual beneficial relationships, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Africa, right? You know, because a lot of people approach it with that mindset. I'm going there to save these people. I'm going there to man. If you see how our brothers and sisters living in SA and the good life that they have, you ain't what you say from.
Save yourself.
They might try to send you home with something. They might send you home with something for real.
I'm trying to save me. I'm trying to get us together because this ain't working. You know, I looked up today and all this hot heat out here. I said, man, let me go. This ain't right. I think God trying to tell us something.
Seriously. And that's, I mean, but it depends on the mindset you have when you go there too, because I know I was like, man, I'm about to go learn all about Africa. I'm about to go learn all about the people. Man, I got out there and I was learning more about myself than anybody.
Yeah, I remember you saying,
you know, I'm sick, and I mean that, because it was just, they gonna hold you, they gonna talk to you like you family, and you go over there thinking, oh, I'm about to go be around some, it seemed like foreigners or something, right?
Right.
No, I feel like these the foreigners here.
Right. Look, facts.
I feel like I'm at home there.
I think that is the different experience. Now, let me say this: we have. She's been to several African countries. I've been to a few. And the like, say for instance, Tanzania, right? Tanzania, the people were welcoming, they were loving, they were nice, they were kind, all that good stuff. Still felt like foreigners to me, right? Totally honest. That's the feeling that you do not get in SA. They do not feel like foreigners, because I say this all the time on the YouTube channel. Like, man, I wish you would stop saying that story. But you could talk to South Africans and be like, man, you remember that episode of the Cosby Show when Theo was on the Gordon Gartrell? And they remember it. They are so familiar with African American culture that, they have a very distinct and unique culture. But there's this overlap. There's this crossover that makes it very familiarity, that makes it very easy for me to pop in and hold conversations with them, so that I can reference something from my African American cultural context, and it's not like foreign to them. It's like, oh yeah. So that makes it the ability to build relationships and friends very easy, because there's this crossover, you know. So definitely, like, I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about.
No,
what he said struck a chord.
Oh, okay.
It did.
I forgot.
I mean, it was just you would be holding conversations that you just don't want to ever end with them, and you know, it was just so comfortable. I felt at home, and I don't know. And honestly, I have not been able to listen to American music since I've been back. I listen to straight up piano and different genres of African music. And because our music can be sad, it can be depressing, it can be violent. I'm not saying they don't have those same things too, but it's something about piano that just keeps me upbeat and happy. I listen to it when I work out. I listen to it when I'm driving. Huh?
Don't do that. I'm about to do
I ain't got no rhythm. You know, it's crazy. I went over there. I had been practicing some different dances I saw, like, oh. And then you know what happened when I got there? Said, you doing too much. That's old school. I was like, man, you know how long I've been practicing that dance? You sit here and tell me it's old school. Oh man, it's so funny.
Yeah,
it's been amazing. It was amazing. I honestly, I dream of it. I talk about it. I don't think a day has went past where I have not watched a video and talked about it to somebody every single day since I left.
That's infectious, man. You are repeating the story to us that we've already lived and experienced. We came back from in 2019 and we talked about it every day. There's not a day that goes by that I do not have a conversation with my wife about South Africa since 2000.
Not at all.
Every day.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
see that's we always talk about you have to plan. That was the conversations that we're having are about planning and about, sometimes it's about the dream.
Right.
I can't wait to get there and be there. But a lot of times it's about the plan. What is the next step? How do we get this done? How do we do this? Whatever have you. And kind of figuring it out. And I think that's the importance of having a teammate when you're doing this thing. But then again, you have who are doing it by themselves, single people, but we have a family, we have kids that we have to kind of plan for that. But yeah, every day since 2019, day has not gone by that we have not discussed South Africa, that we have not mentioned it. And it's really become like this central, it's almost, I don't know, obsession, but it's like the third person in this. It's like we in a pilot relationship. It's me, right. That's it.
It's South Africa. But it's hard.
You go too far.
Now, hold up now. You know what? You can stay here. But honestly, I mean, if you really even think about it, it's something as simple as this. It's hard not to speak on it when the things that we see, because we live here, we don't get propaganda of America. We get the truth of it every day.
Yeah, facts.
And it's hard to ignore what other opportunities you have or other options you have are right there in your face. And it's reminding you, those things that happen, whether it's the mass shooting's driving me crazy at this point. I've had nightmares. I don't even dream typically, or have nightmares. I sleep like a rock. I'll fall asleep anywhere at any time, and I sleep, no dreams. I just wake up somehow, and I'm like, oh, it's the next day. But when I tell you, I've been having nightmares about that because, kind of like I spoke about in the other video, it's almost getting to the point where it's not that these people are in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's just it ain't happening to you because you're in the right place at the right time. And I don't want to be an American refugee going to South Africa. I want to be an expat. You know what I mean? I want to move because I wanted to, not because I had to. And it's so uncomfortable being here. And it ain't. Being Black here is one thing, but man, just being here, period. I don't care who. At this point, ain't nobody safe. At this point, it's getting to that point. Nobody's safe anymore. Kids not safe. Nobody's safe.
I think Dr. James Bennett pointed that out when he was saying that it's not Black people. In fact, we might be the smallest of the trickle. It's all other, mainly our white brothers and sisters who were packing up and saying, "I need to find something new. I need to try something new." We mentioned and then we're going to wrap this up because we got a few things that we need to do tonight. But
go ahead.
The globalization that social media and the internet has now globalized and democratized our access to information about other countries, other places, right? For so long, and so many generations, America's the greatest place. That's all we were taught. There's no other place better than America. Why would you want to leave America? That's not even a thought, right? Until the internet comes along and connects you and plugs you into parts of Europe and plugs you into Asia and it plugs you into Central and South America and of course plugs you into Africa. And you can go onto a YouTube channel and you can see how other people are living their day-to-day lives and what their concerns are and how there's a level of harmony in certain places. There's a less level of stress and agitation and political and social and governmental drama, right? You could see all of this and you're like, wait, these people are living wonderful lives. I was thinking that everyone else was a third world country, maybe besides Europe. Everyone else is just poor and they're in destitute situations and everywhere. And I'm not just speaking of Africa. I mean, you think about that about India and China, and then you see that people are actually living like wonderful lives, and you're like, well, why am I stuck here? Why can I explore places where I may find more benefit for myself and my family? It doesn't have to be about racism or white supremacy. It doesn't have to be about any of those things. And there are just other places on this earth in which I can find benefit for myself and my family. Why do I stay here? What's my reasons for staying stuck in New Orleans?
And we just honestly are just the only ones who are not known to move around are Black African Americans. We are the only people on this earth that don't move around.
Everybody else.
But we always complain about where we at.
Say them not, I know it's about South Africa, but them Nigerians get up and they be gone. They in Europe, they in anywhere.
China,
anywhere.
Indonesia, Dubai, wherever you go, you gonna find a
Nigerian. Fact.
Yeah, one of my friends, he graduated Harvard. He's Nigerian, graduated from Harvard and moved to China and then came back.
Yeah, that's how they get out. That's how they get out. And they don't see it. There's another dude named Passport Heavy.
Sphere. Oh yeah.
Passport Heavy.
I like him. Nigerian guy.
When I first discovered him, I told my wife that is one of the differences of well, let me say this, it's not really true because there are a lot of Black Americans moving around now. But when I say particularly like Black men, I'm talking about to decide, hey, I'm going to take my passport and I'm going to move around this world and go to different places and see different things. We have been so brainwashed, conditioned to think that, oh, we can't do something like that. You know, you just have to still, you have to stay in your hood, you have to stay in your city. The most you can do is move to Atlanta or Houston to better your life, right? That's for so many Black men, right? We've been conditioned to.
And that's the thing though, because well, for one, most of us don't have passports. Let's say that. But two, Kendrick Lamar's song, I forgot the name of it, that came out recently, when he was saying, I love the hood, but I want you to love me too. Yeah. It don't love you back. It don't love you back, because the moment you get where you want to be in life and you still there, you see what's happening to all these rappers and artists. They be like, because it used to be a thing where it's like, oh, you ain't real, you left the hood, you ain't real. But you see what happens when they started staying, they start dying.
Nipsey Hussle, a Crip killed by another Crip.
Young Dolph, exactly.
Young Dolph.
It's crazy, but I mean, I know we can go on all night. I'm sorry.
yeah, brother. But thank you so much, Thomas, man. Listen, man, I need to add you. I told you I was going to add you to that to the text message group. You know, I'm absent, but I definitely will, man. And say, man,
let us know. My page one time too before you go. I'm sorry. Before you do your exit, I was going to just tell my page one more time.
Shout it out one more time.
Okay. It's Chilling with the Charles. So CHILLIN with the Charles on YouTube. Also on Instagram and TikTok. And
that's that AAV chilling. Y'all know American vernacular, chilling.
The G was probably taken anyway.
All right, brother. So, man, thank you so much for participating, man. And, man, we're going to stay in contact and stay in touch.
All right, man. Y'all stay hydrated out here.
We will, brother. Definitely. Have a good one. Peace.
You too.